Fantastic Four. So you guys know the story with the Fantastic Four. These four scientists slash astronauts go into space. They get hit by cosmic rays, and they get superpowers. And it stars Ian Grufford. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Jessica Alba, Chris Evans, and Michael Chiklis. Oh, and also Julian Mc Mahan. So as Doctor Doom, and you know, this movie, I actually like this movie. It's not a good movie. I know it's not a good movie, but I prefer this movie over 2015 Fan Four Stick piece of shit any day, anytime. All right. So, and I don't know where to begin. I honestly don't know where to begin. Um, I guess right now I have some notes that I wrote down. I just rewatched this movie. I have some notes. I've written it down. We're gonna be going through all of them. So here we go. Um, so like there are actually, you know what? Let's talk about the negatives. Let's get the negatives out of the way. Let's get the flaws out of the way before we get to some of the things that I actually don't mind. I actually don't mind, or I actually liked. Um, there's barely any action in this movie. There's absolutely, like, this is a superhero movie, and there's barely any superhero action scenes. Besides the bridge and then the climax near the end of the film, those are like the only two things. But other than that, most of this movie is just characters and their expositions and coping with their powers. Like, they're struggling with their powers. They don't know what it is. They don't know what to do. They're having a difficult time coping with it. And also, two of the main characters, their personalities is not the same as it is in the comics, especially with the two characters of Johnny Storm and Viktor Von Doom. Johnny Storm, now listen, I love Chris Evans, and I will always love Chris Evans because, I love Chris Evans now because, everyone loves Chris Evans because of, he plays Captain America. The entire world knows Chris Evans as Captain Steve Rogers, Captain America, the OG, the OP. He will always be remembered as Captain America. But I actually do like him in other outside the comic book genre. I did like him in. I thought he was pretty funny in Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Remember that? Remember him? Remember his character Lucas from Scott Pilgrim versus the World? But I thought he did an amazing job, a great job in both Gifted, the movie Gifted, where he plays a father, and then his daughter his daughter's like really smart for a kid her age. But yeah, I thought he was great and Gifted, and I thought he was amazing in this Apple TV show Defending Jacob. But yeah, and now he's gonna be voicing Buzz Lightyear in the upcoming movie, which I'm very, very happy about that movie, and I'm looking forward to it. But anyway, like I said, I love Chris Evans, but his portrayal as Johnny Storm, well, it's not just, his job is to act. Well, actually, I don't blame Chris Evans, but I really blame the writing for the character of Johnny Storm, because he comes off as this unlikable douchebag for majority for completely throughout the entire movie, like mostly if not completely. He's so immature. He doesn't take things seriously. He doesn't follow orders from like any of his team members, like any of the members of the Fantastic Four, and he has like little to no character development. He's just yeah, he's immature. He's joking around and messing with Ben Grimm, the Thing. He's annoying the shit out of his sister, Susan Storm. And he's making out with all the hot chicks, like all these supermodels and all that. That's basically his character. That's the character of Johnny Storm. Isn't he amazing? I'm so glad he's Captain America. But anyway, let's talk about the villain of this movie, Viktor Von Doom. Now, if you asked me, Max, who is your favorite Marvel supervillain? It's not anyone in the MCU. It's not Loki. It's not Ultron. It's not Killmonger. It's not Vulture. It's not Thanos. It's none of them. It's not the Mandarin. It's actually, well, in Shang-Chi, Wenwu, it's actually Doctor Doom. It's not the Mandarin. It's Doctor Doom. Doctor Doom is my favorite villain. Is my favorite Marvel supervillain. Unfortunately, the movies do such a tragic and shit garbage job at this character. Is it really? I have a question, Hollywood. All right, I have a question, Fox, because this movie was created, was distributed and made by Fox, and was released by Fox. Is it really that difficult to make a good Fantastic Four movie? Is it really that difficult? You did a great job. You did a great job with the X-Men. You did a great job with the X-Men movies and the Deadpool movies. Well, you did a great job with the X-Men movies for the most part. There were like maybe one or two X-Men movies that I thought weren't that good. X-Men Origins and The Last Stand, for example. But you did a great job with the X-Men movies. You did a hilarious and amazing job with Deadpool. You have success with those. Why not Fantastic Four? Why is it really that difficult to make a great Fantastic Four movie? Disney did a great job making a Fantastic Four movie. It's called The Incredibles. The Incredibles is a great Fantastic Four movie. It's just, is it really? I find it very hard to believe, but I guess it's true. It really is difficult to make a Fantastic Four movie. Fox, Jesus, but yeah, Doctor Doom is my #1 favorite supervillain. He's like always like a couple. He's not one step ahead. He's like a couple steps ahead of our heroes. His genius rivals that of Mr. Fantastic. He's a super intelligent supervillain. You shouldn't underestimate him. I just want him done right. And I feel like Disney/Marvel Studios is going to finally give us a good Fantastic Four movie. So anyway, yeah. Doctor Doom is a horrible villain in this movie. But anyway, now that my rant is over, let's get back into this movie. Viktor Von Doom in this movie is a horrible villain. He doesn't threaten any of the Fantastic Four team, except a few. He doesn't come off as threatening or menacing. He's just, he's like, what he reminds me of? You know what this Viktor Von Doom reminds me of? He reminds me of a horrible version, a carbon copy of Norman Osborn from the Sam Raimi/Tobey Maguire Spider-Man film. He really does. He's like a terrible version of the great Norman Osborn, Willem Dafoe. He's just a billionaire. He's just a billionaire who's rich. He's got all this money. He has this company. He only cares about his company. He only cares about the profits. He's an evil billionaire. They did him. They did my favorite character horrible. They ruined. They butchered the character of Viktor Von Doom, Doctor Doom. Oh my god. And also, like, Reed Richards. Let's go into the cast member. Let's go into the cast. So we talked about the Human Torch, Chris Evans, Human Torch. We talked about the villain, um, Doctor Doom. Reed Richards. Is he a good? Is he a good person? There is some development. There is something with him going on between him and Jessica Alba, Invisible Woman. But I really did my best to focus on, when I was rewatching this movie, I was really focusing on the character of Reed Richards. He comes off very bland, just a generic genius. Yeah, I get it. I understand. He's smart. He's intellectual. I mean, this is Mr. Fantastic we're talking about. One of the most smartest characters one of the most smartest geniuses, brilliant minds in the Marvel universe. I get it. He's smart, but he just comes off as bland and generic. He's just a generic genius, is what he really is. Yeah, he's just spouting all this scientific bullshit nonsense, and we're supposed to like believe him because he's smart and he's Reed Richards, but yada yada yada. Yeah, and also the character of Jessica Alba. Jessica Alba, listen, I don't get me wrong. Jessica Alba is a beautiful, gorgeous woman who I wish who I would date. even though she's like a couple decades older than me, even though she's like a few decades, maybe like 10, 20 years older than me. Still, she's a very beautiful and gorgeous woman. I understand that. I get that. And don't get me wrong, she is beautiful in this movie, Jessica Alba. But this is the character of the Invisible Woman, Sue Storm. All right, Sue Storm. Not only is she super hot, but she's also super smart, just like her husband, slash boyfriend, Mr. Fantastic. But she was so Jessica Alba was so terribly miscast as Sue Storm. Her character is sexualized. It's sexualized or over sexualized. There's like a scene in the movie on like the bridge. You know the scene I'm talking about, where where she has to turn invisible and sneak past all the members of the crowd, but her clothes don't. But only her body is invisible. Her clothes aren't invisible, so she has to take off her clothes, and then it's just a excuse to see Jessica Alba's hot, delicious body. That's it. It really is. And it really does become a gag. Sue stripping naked in public, and to save Ben, and again to run away from a crowd of fans. It feels, it just becomes a running gag at that point, and it is brought back again in the next movie, Rise of the Silver Surfer, which we will get to later down in the future. But there was actually, speaking of that bridge, there was actually something that made no sense. There, like Ben Grimm's wife or ex-wife. This part made no sense. And maybe you guys can help me answer this question. But here's my question. I never really thought about it until I rewatched it. Like I said, I paid so much close attention to this movie. Um, but why did Ben Grimm's ex-wife, now it's ex-wife, Debbie, that's her name, right? Rushed all the way to the Brooklyn Bridge just to dump Ben after he saved the firefighters from falling to their deaths. It's a moment that'll make you like, it's a moment that makes you question why would she do that, and I don't know. It made me a little bit upset and a bit angry. I won't lie. She she doesn't. She told she Ben Grimm. He turns into the thing. He's starts wearing a disguise. He meets his wife Debbie at night. She sees his horrifying appearance, and she says, "Stay away from me." And then she just walked all the way. She drove. She either walked. She drove. I'm assuming she drove all the way to the Brooklyn Bridge, just to dump Ben, just to take off the ring, engagement, wedding ring, whatever, and just put it on the ground. She drove all the way to the bridge just to put the ring on the ground, just to move past the crowd and to put the ring on the ground, and then she drove back home. What? It made no sense. And also, this movie came out in 2005, and some of the CGI looked disgusting and cartoonish and terrible. And it's really noticeable with Mr. Fantastic's stretching skin abilities. It didn't look so bad. The CGI didn't look so bad with the Human Torch when Johnny would flame on and use his fire abilities. It didn't look, the CGI and the effects with the Invisible Woman. Everyone, it looked really good. Everyone, Dr. Doom, with his electricity abilities, Invisible Woman with her invisibility and their force fields, Human Torch and his fire abilities, but Mr. Fantastic, the CGI on Mr. Fantastic's powers looked horrible. Yeah. There is a lot of product placement there. For example, Pepsi, ESPN, X Games, Activision, Xbox, Dell, Samsung, Burger King, and Brisk. After watching this movie, it made me want to rewatch The Incredibles. I didn't, but I should have. It made me consider about rewatching The Incredibles on Disney Plus. But yeah. And I guess looking right now, sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, I think that's all I have to say with the negatives. Now let's go to the positives. All right, I will, like I said at the beginning of this video, I will take this movie or the sequel, Rise of the Silver Surfer, over the 2015 garbage any day, because it kept the lighthearted tone that the franchise was known for. The Fantastic Four is Marvel's first family, and Stan Lee created this family, and he did an amazing job. And the 2015, oh my god, that movie, that reboot, it was supposed to be you can tell the tone They wanted to copy the Dark Knight success. They wanted it to be the Dark Knight. It doesn't work. That's why the Amazing Spider-Man felt the tone did not work, and that's why the Fantastic Four movie, the tone did not work. These characters, Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, these are lighthearted, humorous franchises and characters. It's not something as dark and serious as Batman. What? But yeah, and I want to talk about Michael Chiklis as Ben Grimm, the Thing. He is the only good thing about. He is the only great thing. Michael Chiklis as Ben Grimm slash the Thing is the only great character and great thing. That was a stupid joke about this out of this entire movie. Because I don't really care about, because Mr. Fantastic comes off as bland. Human Torch is a douchebag. The Invisible Woman is just sexualized. It's just eye candy. It's just eye candy and sexualized. Look at Invisible Woman's naked, Jessica Alba's naked body. Dr. Doom is a horrible villain who's just a rich billionaire playboy. He's just, well, not playboy, excuse me. He's just a rich billionaire who only cares about his company, his profits, that's it. The only good thing about this, the only great character about in this entire movie is Ben Grimm. You actually feel, the movie did such a great job making you feel emotional towards the character of the Thing. You feel bad, like his wife dumped him, but now he's seeing this other girl, this other woman, and he doesn't want. He feels like a monster. He feels like a monster. He just wants to be a human again. That's all he ever wants. That's all he wants, and I love that. I love that about this this one movie. I did like the Thing's comment. There were some great funny moments with the Thing, don't do drugs, and Human Torch, Johnny saying, "Where are your ears?" There were some, there were some there were some great things, and there were some good things about this. I mean, they're mostly. I'm sorry. I'm just. Yeah. If I don't talk, that means I'm just reading the my notes on my laptop, my computer slash laptop, whatever you want to call it. Let me see. Is there anything else that I missed out? Anything I didn't talk about in this movie? Scrolling through the notes, scrolling through my notes. The chemistry. I will say this. Even though the characters, not all of them are strong. The Thing is the only Ben Grimm. The Thing is the only great character. I will say the chemistry between the cast members, is really good. Is really good. Like they're actually bonding with each other. I'm sure the cast had such a fun time making this movie. But yeah. But anyway, that's pretty much it. That's all I have to say for the Fantastic Four. Yeah, there were just some things that made no sense. But like I said, I will watch this movie over the 2015 garbage any day of the week. All right, you name it. You name it. But like the characters, not all of them are strong. Ben Grimm is the only character I really liked. You know what? Fuck it. I love the Thing in this movie. Everyone else is just bland, sexualized. a douchebag. Like, Human Torch is a douchebag. Mr. Fantastic is a bland genius. Jessica Alba's Invisible Woman is just eye candy, sexualized. Dr. Doom is just a billionaire, which is just a rich billionaire, but now he's evil, but he's quickly turned evil, and he's a supervillain, and that's it. But anyway, yeah, I'll watch The Incredibles out. But I'll watch The Incredibles over any of these movies, the Fantastic Four movies, any day of the week too. All right. So if you've seen Fantastic Four, let me know what you thought about it in the comment section below. Thank you so much for taking your time to listening to my review. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I will see all of you lovely people really soon.